Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the presentation video of my research proposal for Classroom Action Research final project, which titled The Using of Basic Questioning with Picture to Improve Students' Writing Skill at SMPN 14 Banjarmasin. Before I start my presentation, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Lola Fatimah. My register number is 1910 1171 213. I'm from English Language Education Study Program of Lambung Mangkurat University, Banjarmasin. Alright, in this part, I would like to inform you that this presentation will be divided into 3 sections. The first one is introduction, the second is literature review, and the third is research methodology and references. Okay, so now we are going to the first chapter. It is introduction. Here we have background of the study. For EFL students, writing is one of the hardest productive skills that need to master in learning English. It is shown when the researcher participated in teaching practice program at SMPN 14 Banjarmasin. Most of the students have difficulties in writing, especially for the 9th grade students when they learned how to write past continuous tense. This problem occurred because the English teacher only used the old technique teaching writing, which only tells students to copy the material to their notebook without providing any instructional media or interested technique in teaching. Due to this problem, the researcher decided to conduct a classroom action research. In the study, the researcher chose basic questioning with picture as the technique to help the students in improving their writing skill, especially in writing past continuous tense. The same technique had been used by Nima in 2012 in her study, which titled The Effectiveness of Using Basic Questioning with Picture to Improve the Students' Descriptive Writing Skill. The result of her study is the questionnaire showed a positive response from the respondents on the use of pictures in helping them to write. They also agreed that teachers should use pictures more often during the teaching and learning process. Next, the research question. The problem that will be investigated in this study is how is the effectiveness of using basic questioning with picture to improve students' writing skill, especially in writing past continuous tense at the 9th grade students of SMPN 14 Banjarmasin. Next, the objective of the study. The objective of the study is to identify the effectiveness of using basic questioning with pictures to improve students' writing skill, especially in writing past continuous tense, the students of 9th grade of SMPN 14 Banjarmasin. In this study, there are some significance. The first is teacher, students, school, readers, and writer. First, the teacher. The result of this study may show the teacher that basic questioning with picture can be an interesting technique in teaching writing past continuous tense. It will become a good stimulant to improve students' motivation in writing. The second, for the students. The result of the study may motivate students to improve their interest in writing, especially in writing past continuous tense. The third is school. The school will make a right decision to use some techniques or media for supporting teaching and learning process, especially to use basic questioning with picture in writing class. And fourth, the readers. The readers can get more information and knowledge from this research about the using of basic questioning with picture in writing class. And then the last is for the writer itself. The writer will get information about the effectiveness of using basic questioning with picture in teaching learning process, and the improvement of students' motivation in writing past continuous tense after being taught by using basic questioning with picture. Now, we go to the chapter 2, the review of literature. First, what is writing? Writing ability is the ability to explain one's ideas, beliefs, and feelings to another person and write them down in a language according to Abbas. And from Nurgiantara, writing is an activity to state ideas by using a language. As the result, writing is an activity to state ideas, beliefs, and feelings to another person and write them down by using a language. The second is past continuous tense. What is past continuous tense? Patricia states past continuous tense represents events that occurred or were taking place in the near past, at a certain moment in the past, or during a length of time in the past. It is frequently used to describe or set a situation. And then, question. According to Oxford Learner's Pocket Dictionary, question is sentence, phrase, or etc. that asks for information. In teaching, teacher can always be the one who gives information. Teachers have to make interactions where students will give and explain things that related with the learning material. For this reason, teachers should have the ability to ask proper questions. The purpose is like what Patsy and Nina mentioned, that questions are essential for engaging children in interaction and determining how much they comprehend. And then, the use of basic questioning. When we get in front of students, we position ourselves as one who have all the answers, and then after we talk to the kids, we start asking questions as if we don't understand what we just said. As teachers, we must accept that we do not know everything, and there is no reason to presume that our students do not know everything. Before beginning the lesson, teachers may utilize fundamental inquiry to stimulate students and engage them in the teaching learning activity. First and foremost, the teacher should ask some topic related questions. The teacher may then ask the students to share their experience with their classmates and debate it with them. The teacher can then inquire about the past continuous tense itself. These activities will provide all students with a framework for understand the past continuous tense, making the lesson more successful and engaging. Give an example first, followed by some questions. The purpose of fundamental questioning in this context is to provide a stimulus for students to get an understanding of the lesson that will be covered. The teacher begins the class by going from the easiest to the most difficult. As a result, the teacher employs a systematic strategy. And the last one is picture. According to Oxford Learner's Pocket Dictionary, a picture is a description that gives you a concept in your head of what something is like. It provides someone with the knowledge they need to grasp a situation. Picture is one of the media in the teaching and learning process that may be used to stimulate and improve the students' interest in the teaching and learning process by enhancing the students' visual sense. Like what the researcher have mentioned before, there is a previous study that used as the reference for this study. There is Nima in 2012. In her study, which titled The Effectiveness of Using Basic Questioning with Picture to Improve the Students' Descriptive Writing Skill, an experimental research at the 7th grade of SMPN 31 Semarang in the academic year of 2011 or 2012. The result of her study is the questionnaire showed a positive response from the respondents on the use of pictures in helping them to write. They also agreed that teachers should use pictures more often during the teaching and learning process. Now, we go to the third section. This is research methodology. This chapter discusses methodology that is used by the researcher in this study. It deals with the research design, research setting, data and data resource, technique of data collection, techniques of data analysis, and research procedure. The first one is research design. The researcher arranges a research design before doing the research. Considering the purposes of the research and the nature of the problems, this research is quantitative one. In this research, the researcher uses through experimental design, pre-test, post-test control group design to identify the effectiveness of using basic questioning with picture to improve the students' writing skill, especially in writing past continuous tense at the 9th grade of SMPN 14 Banjarmasin. There are two groups in pre-test and post-test control group design. Then they are given pre-test to know the initial condition whether there is a difference between experiment group and control group. And then the research setting. The researcher conducts the research at SMPN 14 Banjarmasin, which is located in Jalan Banua Anyar, Banjarmasin. The subject of the study is the 9th grade students at SMPN 14 Banjarmasin. Data and data research. The first data used in this research is students' ability in writing past continuous tense when using basic questioning with picture technique in learning process. And for the data research, the source of data in this research is the 9th grade students in SMPN 14 Banjarmasin. Now, technique of data collection. To obtain accurate data in the study, the researcher chooses instruments that are appropriate for the problem statement, which are follows. The first is documentation, tasks, and observation. For documentation, to collect data relating to the target of research, such as a list of students' names who are included in the population, the researcher gets the data by the help of the English teacher. And then the test. There is pre-test and post-test. For the pre-test, the teacher gave the kids a test before teaching new content using simple questioning with pictures. The experiment and control groups were given a pre-test. This test is administered prior to the execution of the experiment. And then for the post-test, it was administered to both the experiment and control groups. The test was administered to determine how students' past continuous tense writing abilities had improved. Following treatment, the experiment and control groups were given a post-test. And then the observation. The observation is done to know the students respond to the use of basic questioning with picture in the learning process. Techniques of data analysis. The results were evaluated by comparing the means from the pre-test and post-test to see if the student's ability to write in the past continuous tense improved. The mean is calculated using the following formula, and then the improvement of the students can be seen through the student score category. From 86 until 100, it is included in category excellent. And for the 75 to 85, it is included as good, and so on until the poor category. Next, we have the research procedure. The researcher conducted 2 cycles in this research. The same set of tasks is prepared to the students. The result of each cycle will be organized into 4 steps of CAR, namely planning, acting, observing, and reflecting. And here are the references for this study. That's all for my presentation. Thanks for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.